What's up, guys? This is Quincy from RGM, and I'm back with another episode of the Weekly Roundup, episode 2. If you're new here, this is the way it works. We are covering some of the biggest stories that happened the week before, giving a little more detail on what we think about. Even if you know the stories already, I'm gonna give you an angle of them that maybe you ain't think about. Before we get started, I want to remind you guys to check out rgmnow.com for the best song reviews, album reviews, and movie reviews on planet Earth. Also, if you like content like this, please hit that subscribe button. Please, so we can get motivated to do even more videos like this. Okay, let's get started. Kanye West says the success of Bully has brought him more happiness than the success of any of his previous albums. Kanye, I swear, Kanye is just impossible to hate. It's impossible to hate. It doesn't matter what he says on Twitter, what he says in public, how many people he cusses out. Like, he's just impossible to hate. I thought this comment by him was very heartwarming. I mean, Kanye West, I can tell he was in so many different spaces on all the albums that he was in. Like, for instance, Graduation. I thought he was in a really happy space there. I thought when he made College Dropout, he was hungry. And I could tell he was in a really dark space when he made My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. But there's something about Bully that is just refreshing. It feels like Kanye was being himself. It feels like everything was organic. It just almost felt like the debut album again for him. So I am not surprised at all by these comments by Kanye. Hopefully this is the beginning of a new, renewed version of Kanye that gives us more organic music, as we'll see. Trippie Redd gives us a preview of NDA, his upcoming album, with a fire new single called Swagger. I don't know about y'all, but I have not given up on Trippie Redd. I know there's all this talk about him falling off, yada, but come on, man, he ain't even dirty yet. He got plenty of time to write this shit. Though these past couple of years, he's dropped some albums here and there, and they've been aight. But there's something about this album that I just feel like it might put him right where he needs to be. I mean, he has a daughter, so he has a family to work for, and I can just see that motivating him to be the best version of himself. That said, I really like this Swagger single. I mean, I don't like the title, and the verses could have been had a little more depth, but the production is fantastic. I absolutely love the chorus. It's choppy, it's simple, but I love it. And most importantly, I feel like you get a confident version of Trippie Redd that knows he's still the man. He's still that guy. He still knows how to surf on beats. I am very optimistic that Trippie Redd's gonna make a pretty solid comeback here. This should make you at least optimistic for the next couple of years for Trippie. NLE Choppa returns with a new single and a new look on Light It Up. Meek Mill drops the sequel to Dreams and Nightmares called Nightmares and Dreams. I'm one of those people that thinks that Dreams and Nightmares is one of the best hip-hop songs ever. Like, let's not overthink this. It's one of the best hip-hop songs ever. If you call yourself a hip-hop fan, you should be able to rap at least 75% of that song. Regardless if you are a fan of Meek, you should be. 14 years later, Meek decided to drop a sequel to the track, and it flips the original version's production and still carries, some of that hunger that Meek was rapping with on the original. On the first listen, I was blown away. I was like, yo, Meek Mill's the greatest rapper of all time. The fact that he flipped this is so tight. I felt the nostalgia. On the second listen, I was like, it's okay. Doesn't quite have the magic of the original version, understandably so. I mean, damn, it's 14 years later. Meek got so much more money since then. Meek has been in 100 yachts since then, probably. There's some good, there's some bad, and there's some ugly with this to me. The good is that a lot of people tuned into this record because of what Dreams and Nightmares mean to them. The bad is that it kind of screams out desperation to me a little bit. Like, Meek done tried all these different things, it's not sticking, so gotta go back to like the best song he's ever made and kind of remind people that he's still rapping. And the ugly is I'm just not sure where you go from here. Like, the momentum is there for you, but what is the next step to capitalize on that momentum? So I think the success of this sequel will be largely tied to what he does next, so I guess we gotta wait and see. Lil Uzi Vert drops a surprise mixtape on his birthday called Maverick Almost Forever EP. Uzi is in a very weird spot to me. I think he's still extremely relevant, one of the most relevant rappers in the game today, but I'm not sure he has a classic studio album, and I'm not sure he's somebody that people are checking for musically. I just feel like he's in that like lesser tier Rihanna space where people are just happy to see him in public and doing anything activity wise. That said, I do believe believe this is a solid project. You get the old school Uzi, no more like crazy experimenting other than, you know, London, where he does this seriously bad London accent. But you get the things that made you like him in the past, like the mixture of just rage rap and like smooth melodies, and then, you know, a mixture of just trippy production with trap vibes and all that good stuff. It is a very solid project for Uzi. And now that he's under Roc Nation management, maybe we get more consistency from him, because to me, that's the thing about Uzi. He drops albums that are noteworthy and that are worth a listen, but he just doesn't do it consistently. This might be the start of a very consistent, motivated, and vintage Uzi, which I would be very, very happy to see, because I do still think he's one of the better artists in the game today. Don Toliver officially kicks off the Nitrous rollout on Instagram. Other than Drake, there has not been another hip-hop artist that's had a better year than Don Toliver. To me, I love it when artists drop organic albums, and Octane from January felt like an organic album. Like, this is Don Toliver. This isn't help from all these different trends or people. He puts you in his world and dares you to get lost in it. That said, Octane is one of the highest albums in terms of hip-hop sales this year, behind Iceman. And we've seen Don Toliver on stage with several different A-list rappers, and the streams that he has for tracks like E85 and Body is just crazy. If Don Toliver can pull off another album before the end of this year, if he can drop Nitrous, which I'm pretty sure is gonna go #1. I mean, unless like Olivia Rodrigo or Taylor Swift drops something on that same day, I'm betting my money on this new album going #1 and potentially outselling Octane. But if he could get away with Nitrous and Octane both going #1 in the same year, which would probably get him to that #1 highest selling rapper of the year label, we got to start having different conversations about Don Toliver. So that's all the stories that we got straight off the press at RGM Studios. Check us out next week for episode 3. In the meantime, you can spot us at RGM Now, where we got song reviews, album reviews, and movie reviews. And once again, please hit that subscribe button so you can help us grow. Until next time, peace from RGM Studios.